Welcome to Newsbeacon, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The news exploded across the country, sending shockwaves through living rooms, workplaces, and social media feeds alike. Rumors that Chevrolet, a pillar of American automaking and a symbol of blue-collar pride, was planning to leave the U.S. for good. Headlines blared in bold type, and former President Donald Trump unleashed his fury on national television, calling it a betrayal of American workers and a slap in the face to the nation's industrial legacy. For generations, Chevrolet hasn't just been a car brand, it's been woven into the fabric of American life, a trusted companion on family road trips and a badge of honor for millions of workers. The idea of Chevy vanishing felt like a personal loss, a threat to the American dream itself, and a blow to the communities that have depended on these jobs for decades. Social media amplified the panic, with hashtags trending and viral posts stoking fears of massive job losses, economic devastation, and the collapse of a national icon. Trump's outrage tapped into deep anxieties about the future of American manufacturing, reigniting debates about trade, globalization, and the promises made to working-class Americans. Was this the final blow to U.S. industry? Was the promise of bringing jobs home just empty talk, or was there still hope for a revival? The story quickly became a symbol of corporate greed and forgotten workers, resonating across the country and sparking protests in cities and towns that once thrived on auto manufacturing. Chevrolet's name is synonymous with American ingenuity and resilience. Its rumored exit felt like a cultural earthquake, shaking the very foundation of what it means to be American. The uproar set the stage for a bigger conversation. What's really happening to Chevrolet and the jobs it supports? Is this a temporary setback, or a sign of deeper troubles in the industry? The fear was real, echoing in the anxious faces of workers and families. But was it justified, or was the truth more nuanced than the headlines suggested? The nation demanded answers. Was this truly the end of the road for a legend, or just another chapter in the ongoing story of American industry? The panic was palpable, the debates heated, but as the dust settled, it became clear that the truth was more complicated than anyone expected. The stage was set for a reckoning with the future of American cars, and for a nation to confront what it truly values in the face of uncertainty. The anxiety didn't come out of nowhere. It had been building for months, quietly simmering beneath the surface as rumors swirled and headlines hinted at change. Chevrolet had already been quietly retiring some of its most beloved models, signaling a shift that many hoped would never come. The Camaro, a symbol of American muscle and freedom, ended production after 2024. No fanfare, no grand farewell, just gone. For decades, it had been the dream car for countless enthusiasts, a fixture at car shows and in pop culture. The Malibu, a staple of American families for nearly 60 years, will disappear after 2025. Generations grew up with it in their driveways, taking road trips and making memories. These weren't just cars, they were pieces of American history woven into the fabric of everyday life. Each model carried stories, nostalgia, and a sense of identity. Their loss signaled the fading of the classic American sedan, replaced by SUVs and crossovers that lacked the same emotional connection for many. The Cruze was axed in 2019, confirming the trend. Chevy was moving away from its traditional lineup, leaving loyal customers feeling abandoned. For many, each discontinued model felt like losing a piece of the past. It was more than just a car, it was a chapter closing in their own lives. Owners saw their car values drop, fans mourned the end of an era. The market reacted swiftly, and uncertainty spread among collectors and everyday drivers alike. The quiet, almost clinical way these decisions were made deepened the sense of betrayal. There were no heartfelt statements, just cold press releases and boardroom decisions. It felt like a long relationship ended by text, impersonal and abrupt. The emotional bond between brand and buyer was severed without warning. The disappearance of these icons fueled rumors and fears of a total Chevrolet exit. Online forums buzzed with speculation and uncertainty grew. Nostalgia turned to suspicion and the panic grew. Conversations everywhere reflected a sense of loss and confusion about the future. The groundwork was laid for a full-blown crisis of confidence, not just in Chevrolet, but in the future of American automotive tradition itself. Let's cut through the noise. There's a lot of confusion swirling around Chevrolet's future in America, and it's easy to get swept up in the headlines. But here's the truth. Chevrolet is not quitting the US market. The brand that's been a staple of American roads for over a century isn't packing up and leaving. The rumors of a total exit are simply false, misunderstandings fueled by speculation and half-truths. What's really happening is a massive strategic pivot, a deliberate shift in direction designed to secure Chevy's place in the future of transportation. General Motors, Chevy's parent company, is doubling down on its American roots, just in a new, forward-thinking way. The company is shifting its focus from traditional gas-powered cars to electric vehicles, betting big on a cleaner, more sustainable future. Discontinuing iconic models like the Malibu and Camaro is a tough but necessary part of this transformation, making way for new innovations. Chevy is clearing space, both literally and figuratively, for a new generation of electric vehicles that will define the brand for years to come. The headlines might confuse this shift with abandonment, but make no mistake, Chevy isn't closing its doors or turning its back on American drivers. Instead, it's reinventing itself for a new era, one that demands innovation, adaptability, and a bold vision for what's next. This pivot is a response to powerful market forces and a bold attempt to lead, not follow, in the rapidly changing automotive landscape. While Chevy faces challenges abroad, its U.S. strategy is all about reinvestment, innovation, and building the next chapter of American automotive history. Billions of dollars are being poured into American EV development and manufacturing, fueling jobs and technological breakthroughs. The company is making painful cuts and tough decisions, but it's not giving up on America. It's fighting to stay relevant and competitive. The story here isn't about quitting, it's about radical transformation, about evolving to meet the demands of a new era. Chevy is betting its future on electricity, innovation, and a renewed commitment to American drivers, not departure. Why is Chevy dropping its classic sedans? The answer is in your driveway. Americans have moved on from sedans, SUVs and trucks now rule the roads. Automakers follow demand and sedans just aren't selling. It's simple economics. Resources are shifting to where the money is, bigger vehicles. The Malibu and Cruze were casualties of this shift. But there's another force, the electric revolution. GM is investing billions in EVs, retooling factories and retraining workers. The company can't afford to fund both dying sedans and new electric models. The death of the family sedan is tied directly to the birth of the electric SUV. Funds once used for sedans now launch vehicles like the Equinox EV and Blazer EV. Chevy is betting on affordable, practical electric SUVs to drive future growth. The traditional sedan is fading, replaced by the electric wave. Even if Chevy isn't leaving, ending a major model hurts real people. When a production line shuts down, entire communities feel the shock. Auto workers lose not just jobs, but a sense of identity and security. The ripple effect hits suppliers, local businesses, and the whole town. The loss of a car model can trigger layoffs and economic hardship far beyond the factory. Trump's rhetoric tapped into these deep-seated fears. Communities remember past booms and busts and fear more decline. The transition to EVs also creates a skills gap. Retraining isn't always easy. Older workers worry about being left behind in the new economy. The human cost, job losses, anxiety, and uncertainty is real. Industrial transformation always comes with pain. Chevrolet's shift is part of a larger trend. America's auto market is shrinking. Iconic brands are vanishing or fading, and dealership jobs are disappearing. Jaguar ended combustion engines in 2024. US sales collapsed, leaving dealers stranded. Infiniti is merging into Nissan, its future uncertain as sales plummet. Smart left the US in 2019, and other brands are rumored to follow. Each contraction feeds anxiety about the industry's health. The loss of brands and models isn't just about nostalgia, it's about jobs and choices. The American showroom is becoming a shadow of its former self. Chevy's changes feel less like an isolated event and more like part of a bigger crisis. The industry's turmoil is reshaping what it means to buy American. The real story isn't just about what Chevy is cutting, it's about what GM is building. GM is investing billions in American jobs, factories, and technology for an electric future. The company spends $7 billion a year on R&D, much of it for EVs and batteries. Ultium Cells, GM's battery venture, is building massive plants in Ohio, Tennessee, and Michigan. Localizing battery production means less reliance on foreign suppliers and more US jobs. These are new, high-tech jobs in the heartland. GM's EV sales are surging with Chevy leading the charge. The Equinox EV is thousands cheaper than a base Tesla, making EVs accessible to more families. GM's aggressive strategy is about leading, not just surviving. The company aims to overtake Tesla as America's top EV seller. This is a story of creation and ambition, not just loss. The electric revolution is shaking up the entire auto industry. Tesla's dominance is slipping as legacy automakers like GM pour resources into EVs. Tesla's sales and stock are down, while GM and others are gaining ground. Consumers now have real choices. Tesla is no longer the only game in town. GM leverages its scale and dealer network to offer affordable EVs for the masses. The industry is in flux, alliances shift, new tech emerges, and market shares change fast. The ripple effects reach oil companies, mining, and even auto repair shops. Mechanics must retrain for electric powertrains. This is more than new cars. It's a paradigm shift for the whole economy. The shockwave from the EV revolution is just beginning. Where does this leave us? The road ahead is uncertain but full of potential. The end of iconic models is painful and threatens livelihoods. But focusing only on loss misses the bigger picture. GM's investment in EVs and batteries is a bet on a new American future. These are high-tech jobs for a new era. The transition could revitalize U.S. manufacturing and supply chains. In the short term, choices shrink and nostalgia stings. But fierce EV competition may lead to better, more affordable cars for all. The future depends on balancing support for displaced workers with bold innovation. The story of Chevrolet is about transformation, not retreat. The next chapter is unwritten.